It's not about tactics, it's not about midfield, it's about a reaction mentality to bounce back, show resilience, and get a result.
Struggling, it's just not making sense. It's not making sense. I kind of feel like you're preparing us for disaster. Again, it's not about tactics, and then you're talking about discipline. But for you, how do you execute discipline without tactics? I don't really understand that. Like, how does one execute discipline without referring to the tactics as in the game plan? It's not really making sense. There goes the optimism.
All right, assemble back. Come on. Back to your station. Back to your station. What you call it, man? Huh? No. This is one group. There's 4 days. This is one group. Group 1 day, you got 3, bro. It's one group. It's one group. Yeah, because they moved it down there. All right, listen up. Ready, mate? So we got here. Huh? And let's walk back. Let's go. So here, just stand firm and go forward. Move, walk back. That's it. Yeah. Straight through the straight. No, see him. Don't change. See him. Don't change. Go and back. Here now, shuffle, run all the way through. Shuffle, run all the way through. And go. That's it. Yeah. Again, and go. That's it. Two.
Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I feel like I'm from UK, you know.
See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Talawa TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Ushara the Messenger, and you're watching Talawa TV with the host and best Davis. Take it away.
My Talawers, how are you all? Good afternoon, good evening, possibly good morning. All depends on where you are in the world. Welcome back to another live stream. How was your weekend, guys? I hope you're all in good health. If you're making your way home from work, I do hope that you make it home safe and unharmed. If you're on your way to those graveyard shifts, I do hope that you make it there safely and unharmed. And I hope you do so in reverse. Let me know how you guys are doing there in the comment section. If you haven't hit the like button, what are you waiting on? It does not cost you a penny. It's not going to make your pockets go broke. So please do go ahead and kindly hit the like button. I want to get talking with you guys. I'm going to keep this one a relatively short live stream. Don't really have much to say, but I feel like I need to get this off my chest because it's bothering me, and it's bothered me the whole entire weekend. It's just that I've been very busy, so just wasn't able to give you guys this stream, which should have been delivered over the weekend. So I do apologize. So it's my question for you guys there who are silently watching for whatever reason. I don't bite. Do make yourselves known in the comment section. Chorus, big up yourself. I hope that you are in good health. So here's my question for you guys there. what's more important for our football? Is it immediate gratification or long-term gratification? Please do go ahead and answer that one in the comment section. If you're watching live or back on replay, please do answer it, and I will get round to responding to each of you guys, whether it's here live or back on the replay. I do respond to you guys in the comment section, even if it's a response there from someone who's rewatching the show, because obviously I have to respect you guys. You guys have given me your time, so I have to give you guys my respect, because, you know, without you guys, the channel is nothing. It's quite plain and simple, isn't it? So there you have the squad announcement. I know we discussed in my last live stream, we looked at the road to 2026 player watch list. That one kind of sent the whole community, the YouTube community, up in smokes. People were losing their heads. I think it's because they just misread what was put out by the Jamaica Football Federation. So we know the 23 players called up for the upcoming FIFA World Cup men's qualifiers against Bermuda and Trinidad and Tobago. We're into the last leg, the final stretch. I like to call it squeaky bum times. You can imagine why that is called what it's called, or at least that's what we call it over here in England. This right here, this is squeaky bum time, guys. Brace yourself, or it's either going to be heartbreak or tears of joy. We're so used to one of them, aren't we, when we talk about the Reggae Boyz? But hopefully this time round, touch wood, yeah, touch wood, hopefully we will come out feeling happy this time round. All right, so you guys haven't answered my question, so do let me reiterate. What is more important for our football? Is it long-term gratification or is it immediate gratification? Do let me know in the comment section. And also, please do get talking. The content flows better, the live stream flows better if you guys are actively speaking with myself as it relates to the game against Bermuda as well as Trinidad and Tobago. First match played away from home. That one's coming to you guys this Friday. It's Friday, the 5th of September. And 4 days later, we'll be playing against Trinidad and Jamaica on home soil at the National Stadium, at the office. And we'll be taking on our Caribbean rivals. So if you're in Jamaica, please do try and get yourselves to that game if you can. That is, as long as it is feasible, go ahead and throw out the ultimate 12th man. Let's see if we can play our role in getting the boys over the line. Hopefully they're able to do so for the first time since 1998, where the men's team is concerned. So yeah, as it relates to the conversations that's being had around this particular window in relation to the call-ups there, right, and the obvious subsequent missing names of a few players there that some of the 12th man were holding out for. I'm a little bit perplexed why the reaction is the way it is, because I think it's been maybe some 2 to 3 World Cup cycles now where we're kind of stuck in insanity where new media is concerned. And when I say new media, it's not just about a particular social media platform. So it's not just about YouTubers. Really and truly, it's everyone that comes with it. So you know, you've got YouTubers, you know, content creators, producers. We've also got the viewers, the subscribers, the guys in the comment section. So that all for me forms new media in the context of tonight's live stream. So for me, again, I'm a little bit perplexed why the reaction is the way it is, because I kind of feel like, what do you expect when you set a particular tone? And I think, again, you know, judging by the last 2 to 3 World Cup cycles now with the present in mind, I think it's quite clear to see. And maybe if you guys differentiate from myself, then do let me know in the comment section. But I think it's clear that a particular tone has been established. And I think because of said tone, what we're seeing is football that, in my opinion, is offbeat. I think there's a reason why there is no rhythm in the way that the team is playing. And I think that reason or reasons is holding us back. I think it's been doing so for a number of World Cup cycles. Whether you want to say 2 to 3 like myself, or whether you want to stretch it all the way back to post 1998, that's entirely down to you guys. But for me, I'm particularly looking at the last 2 to 3 World Cup cycles there, again, because I'm looking at new media and the role that we've played. And I think this consistent lack of standards, you know, the feeling and the attitude of being high and mighty is a real problem for us. And I think that we as new media have to accept some of the blame for that. I think, you know, it's important that we as a community, again, not singling out any particular individual or individuals, which is why I say the community. I think we as the new media community have to take some responsibility for the role that we've played with what we're now seeing. What as things stand presently, it just feels like failure is on the horizon. And again, we have to take responsibility for what's happened in the past to the present. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's no secret that the Jamaica Football Federation listen to us. I think they see the YouTube community when you're talking about new media. They see the YouTube community, not just the content creators, not just the producers, but also the viewers, the subscribers, the guys in the comment section. I think they listen to us, but I think above all, in my observation, it does appear as if they see the YouTube community as the primary voice for all football fans. I kind of feel like that's their go-to point of reference when they're trying to determine how to go about certain things. And there's evidence for that to suggest that that is the case in terms of who do they listen to. Do they listen to new media or do they listen to traditional media? And I'll get onto traditional media because there's no shade to traditional media. I mean, they are the trailblazers, so you can never ever go against them. You can never disrespect them, because without them, I don't really think there'll be new media. They inspired what we now see as new media. But one of the things there again that's puzzling me is for me it's like, as it relates to where we are now as a football nation and the disappointment and people looking at this final leg of the World Cup qualifiers as being cautiously optimistic or pessimistic, whichever way you want to flip it. I think there's reasons for that. There is some valid reasons for that. For me, you cannot, and there is a pro standard, and whether you want to argue against that, that's entirely down to you. My stance is firm on that. We have definitely set a poor standard. We've set a poor standard and we are demanding rewarding results. And it's not really making sense to me, because obviously football is a results game. So before we can see those demanding results there that we're so hungry for and thirsty for, surely we have to organize ourselves in every which way. And I don't think that we have done that. And I think one of the clear problems, one of the biggest talking points at the moment, especially with that player call-ups there, you can see, I'm not going to take it off screen, is calling up unemployed players. But correct me if I'm wrong, don't shoot a messenger. Not that long ago, if we backstep and look at the last World Cup cycle, we as a community were okaying or being okay with ex-players, ex-unemployed players representing the nation. So there goes the YouTube community setting the tone. We were okay for certain players to represent the national team when they were unemployed. Why? Because they've been good servicemen, because they deserve to be rewarded. You think of every single excuse under the sun, but in hindsight, I think we can all say that you being called to the national team is the reward in itself. Like, I understand the whole, you're a great serviceman and you should be called up to the team whether you have a club or not. I don't agree with the latter, because again, my stance is firm. I couldn't care less if you're the captain or the vice captain. If you don't have a club, you should be nowhere near the team. But again, us as a new media community, we've okayed that, and because we've okayed that, those in the authoritative position where the Jamaica Football Federation is concerned have sat back and they've said, okay, well, if they're okay with it, let's just go with it, because that's the standard that they've set. It's a standard that I think is rock bottom, by the way, but nevertheless, we've set that standard, so they're now running with it. So can we really complain now that we've seen an issue from the last World Cup cycle spill over into the second or the subsequent cycle? I don't really think that we can, because we set that poor standard, so we just have to live with it. Unless we're now going to backstep a bit and say, okay, no more poor standard. And if we're talking about no more poor standard, we can't look at it objectively. We can't look at it subjectively. We have to look at it objectively, right? And I don't think that we're doing that, because even now with this player announcement, the roster for the current window, people are still like doing the most. Like you're still setting yourself up for failure, either in the present or in the near future, irrespective of how this cycle pans out. And I'll get onto that as I go along with the show. But again, I'm going to say this, and we all know this, and I'm not really sure why I have to say it, but it's almost as if some of you are just being deliberate. Like you're being either slow to react, or it's probably a case of you just don't realize what you're pushing, what agenda you're pushing. But again, we've seen it time and time again. If we're just focusing on new media, we've seen time and time again that big names, whether that is subjectively or not, having the bigger name on paper doesn't guarantee you the desired results. That does not make us the better team in CONCACAF, because I doubt currently if we are. For me, we're not one of the top 3 nations in CONCACAF. I don't even think we're a top 5. And I know some people don't want to hear that, it rubs them up the wrong way, but I do not believe we're top 3 or top 5 currently. I think obviously when it comes to the ranking there, again, in CONCACAF, you look at the co-host nations there for the FIFA Men's 2026 World Cup. You've got Canada, USA, Mexico, they're above us. Panama is above us. I know that's a tough pill for some of you to swallow. They are above us. Costa Rica is above us. So we're not top 3, we're not top 5, but some of you have got this you've got this little high and mighty standard about you, where you just feel as if because you're Jamaica and black, gold and green, and therefore you're better than everybody else. And if we're so better than everybody else, then we should just be sat here saying, yeah, we're definitely going to be qualifying for the next World Cup that's on the horizon. But we're not saying that. There's no confidence. Like, you be deluded if you're confident about us qualifying, because you're not. Like I said, it's squeaky bum time. It's squeaky bum time for a reason. And one of those reasons is we have failed again for 2 or 3 World Cup cycles. We've failed to nip certain stuff in the bud. Right, we have failed. I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, because yes, granted, sometimes people can do things unintentionally and tap into that insanity, do it over and over again, and people are like, how do you know you're not doing it? Because they're probably not even thinking about what they're doing, they're just doing it. It happens to all of us, me included. And until someone checks you and say, hey, you have done XYZ, you probably don't even realize, right? So it's not to scapegoat anyone, it's not to make anyone feel guilty, but again, we have failed to nip certain things in the bud. And I'm gonna be very honest with you, the way that I see certain things, especially with the reaction to this current window, there is this disgusting love affair with overseas players. There's this sickening, stomach churning reaction with overly loving overseas players, and I'm just like, why there is a hefty amount of respect on players who are born in the diaspora, more so than Jamaican born players. And this is not about xenophobia, before you come at me. It's not that. You know my channel already. If you're new to the channel, that you probably aren't familiar with my content, obviously, but I couldn't care less where you're from. As if you're eligible to represent the black, gold and green, if you're good enough to play, you should play, irrespective of whichever league you're from. So even if you're in the JPL, and we will talk about the JPL before I close up, I think you should be given a chance. So going back to what I was saying there's this disgusting love affair with players born in the diaspora and just wanting to chase them, and and because of that, the community, again, new media, the community, so not just the YouTubers, not just the producers, but also the guys in the comment section and so on, right? They have this excessive level of patience when it comes to big name players. But again, just because you're a big name player, that doesn't mean you're the right fit for us. And we see this even with the clubs that we support. You look at, let's say, you look at the Premier League, you look at Alexis Sanchez, the hype, the build up around him moving to Old Trafford. They pretty much made that seem like he was going to be like RVP 2.0, but he was a flop. Fernando Torres moving to Chelsea, flopped. PSG star-studded team, flopped. And coincidentally, when they stripped it all back, and yes, they still had some big name players in their team, but not like star-studded affair as it was before. Subsequently, they went on to winning the league, clearing up the domestic cups, and obviously we know that they went on to becoming kings of Europe for the very first time ever. So again, big name players doesn't guarantee you results. I don't understand why you lot are struggling to understand that, and I'm not really sure why you're pushing this stiff agenda. It's just it doesn't make sense. It's so sickening. And yes, I understand, there are times where persistency pays dividends. We all understand that, like, being persistent because the end goal is achievable. Yes, that does make sense. By all means, of course, there is art, the art of persuasion can't be overlooked. Like sometimes because we're not a footballing country, we do have to be humble and we do have to sell the project, similar to what you would see at club level, right? So for example, we're looking at club level, maybe currently the perfect example of the art of persuasion and being persistent because the end goal is achievable depending on what you know about the internal affairs and so on. Rodrigo of Real Madrid is probably a prime example of that. That right there, during the summer transfer window, which by the way has been firmly shut, he was vaguely linked to a number of clubs, PSG being one, current kings of Europe, the current reigning kings of the Premier League, Liverpool, and also they were, I think it's fair to say, linked with a move to Arsenal. And there was some frustration there from more so the Arsenal fans. Why can't he make up his mind? Why should he? He's currently playing for the biggest club in the world. You expect him to make a decision overnight? Like anywhere from there for me is a step down. Anywhere from Real Madrid is a step down. So of course he's going to be holding his horses and being patient with his decision making, and you can't be mad at that. But should Arsenal be persistent, and should they say persistency pays dividends? Perhaps so, because you could argue and say that he's one of the best in his position, so it makes sense. But what don't make sense to me, if we strip it back and go back to the Jamaica Football Federation and the way we do things, is insanity. So tapping into insanity for namesake. And I think that's where we're getting it wrong. Like, how many knocks is too many knocks? How many knocks is, I feel like I'm a broken record because I've said this so many times on numerous World Cup cycles when it comes to the men's team. Like, how many knocks is do you not have shame? Do you not have pride? Why are you embarrassing us? Like, do you not have shame? It's now 2 to 3 World Cup cycles, right? If my maths is correct, that is, and we as new media played a pivotal role in failures thus far. Whether you want to accept that or not, that's on you. But yes, we played a role in failures thus far. And again, it's no secret that new media, the YouTube community, we have a stern influence on the Jamaica Football Federation, more so than traditional media. Again, pick up traditional media, they're the trailblazers, the originators. Hats off to them each and every time. But you can't, when it comes to influence, you can't compare them to new media, right? Because new media right now, we're the tone setters, sometimes the beaters, sometimes the advocates, and so on. And I think Jamaica Football Federation sees the YouTubers as the voice of the people. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I think. So I think that if we continue to allow this poor standard that we have set to fester, brace yourself for more disappointments to come. Whether we qualify for this World Cup on the horizon, the FIFA 2026 Men's World Cup, matters not to me, because brace yourself for more disappointments to come. Because when I look to that 2030 World Cup cycle, I think we are now actively creating and feeding further problems. And I think if we don't get our act together and start to respect ourselves and put Jamaica first and stop chasing players for namesake, if we do qualify for the 2026 World Cup and players with questionable commitments suddenly come around and make themselves available for us, I think that spells problems. I think when I take a moment and I look at the 2030 World Cup cycle, I'm thinking, okay, these players who would then make themselves available for us and are now committed to playing for Jamaica, they now have to play for Jamaica. I think because there is no standard there, if we don't have no standard, I think those players are going to make themselves available if and when. Why? Because there's no standard. And I think they're going to be able to do so because those clubs there, a lot of the times we know that overseas clubs in Europe, clubs in England, sorry, don't shoot the messenger, don't respect us. And I think because of our no standard approach and because some of you just don't have no damn shame, you're going to be allowing those clubs there to pull every tricks out the bag. You're going to be watching games on the eve of a international break where players are going down like dominoes, falling down like a pack of cards, and all of a sudden they've got a miraculous injury. They can't come into camp. And those same players there will show up in their numbers once again after we have qualified. Why? Because we've okayed it. We have no standard, yet still we act like we're somebody. Meanwhile, we're being treated like a bunch of nobodies. And that's what it is. Like, we're a bunch of nobodies and we act like we're somebodies. We're not getting the respect that we deserve, but we're giving out an abundance of respect. It's quite disgusting. And then I think that we need to also take into consideration the human elements. Like, why are we overlooking the human element? We have to talk about the human element. If we are still creating future problems by, like I said, sorry, my apologies. I feel as if that we are still creating future problems by even encouraging the JFF to introduce new players into this final round. So I'm not talking about the players who are here now. Big up the new players who are here now, but I'm more looking towards that October window. So big up the new players who are here now. So my thing is, what do you do if we do qualify? So all the players that are here now, including the new players for this window, what do we do now if we qualify? Do you realize that the sacrifices that these committed players have made, the long flights, the time away, the special moments that they miss out on, leaving their wives at home to take care of their kids? As I said last year, and I feel like a broken record, last year I reminded you guys, September is here, it's not rocket science. Like, just because you're a man doesn't, and I say man because it's a lot of the man them that's doing the most in this space because they have the microphones, unfortunately, and this is why we need more women in the space to give a different perspective. But the guys in this space, like, stop overlooking the human element. Stop overlooking the human element. Like, we are in a school term, like the daddies are away on international duty, and so therefore the burden falls on mommy. Like, mom probably has a job of her own. Like, just because she's with a footballer doesn't mean that she isn't a working mom. And we all know how difficult it is to balance work life and personal life. But all those school runs there now fall onto the mom. And like I said, dad is away on international duty. So do these players there who are here and committed right here, right now, do they deserve to be pushed aside at the final hurdle after accomplishing, God's willing, a childhood dream? By bringing an end to that horrendous wait, by bringing Jamaica back to the promised land for almost 30 years of not qualifying for a FIFA Men's World Cup, do they deserve to be brushed aside? And I don't think they do. I think the final run, and subsequently, if we do qualify, I think that should be executed there by the players who have planted the seed. I think it should be down to them. If they manage to take us over the line, they should be the one playing at the World Cup. But we're not going to see that because the guys in this YouTube space and the some of the viewers and subscribers, you guys have no shame. Like, you don't respect yourselves. You're not even respecting our country. You're not even respecting the players that are here right and now. You're continuously moving the goalposts. I heard you lot say that if they don't come for this window, forget about them. Now the man them are saying if they don't come for the October window, forget about them. Make your bloody mind up and stop. Matter of fact, don't move the goalpost again. Leave the goalpost right where it is because you're annoying. Like, you guys are irritating. No wonder the space is so depressing and sad. You guys are irritating. Like, if we qualify for the World Cup, what we're going to hear is they're going to be saying, okay, even if they don't show up for the October window, there's going to be guys in the YouTube space saying, oh, bring them to the World Cup because you never know, they can help us to get out of the group. They can take us to the round of 16 because the Reggae girls did it. You are not the Reggae girls. You're not the reggae girls. Like sometimes it's like you guys live in cuckoo land. Like you think this is Disney Channel? Like get a grip. Get a grip. Stop moving the goalposts. Like respect the players who are here and now. Respect the players. Yes, them. Yes, we know the way they play is not the best. It's not the best, but they are here. They're here for us. They're representing us. They're missing out on valuable times, invaluable times, moments that they can't get back. They're probably at war with their missus. Their missus are probably pissed at them that they're leaving them at home to take care of their little ones. But it's what it is. They're putting their country before their family. Literally putting their country before their family, rocking relationships. And you're telling me that those guys, they deserve to be pushed out of the team if and when we qualify for other players who don't respect the black, gold, and green. Are you having a laugh? What we should be doing is moving the standard. The standard is right down there. It's on the floor. Bring that standard up to high level. Pull up that standard, because that standard is way, way on the. Some of you respect your clubs more than you respect the black, gold, and green. And I'm not just talking about YouTubers before people say, "Oh, she's throwing." No, I'm not. If I was, I would tell you guys that, because what exactly are you going to do to me? Absolutely nothing. So it's not about YouTubers. It's the community. It's new media. Pull up that standard to eye level, like pull it up to eye level, because it's way down on the floor. What we should be doing now is working with what we have. We should be looking at synergy building. We should be looking at identity. We should be being the ultimate 12th man. We should be encouraging these committed players. We should be looking at doing our level best to get it done. This is the easiest World Cup cycle that we have. And guess what? We may never ever live to see an easier cycle than this in our lifetime. And going back to the JPL players, Warner Brown and Richard King have proven to us that if you are good enough to play, you should play. So are you telling me that the Jamaica Premier League, we've seen that we have produced a wonderful defender in Richard King, wonderful striker there in Warner Brown. Long may it continue. The young boy is a poacher. He's just doing the basics. He's doing the basics. And I'm not trying to put players against each other, but how many of those players there that are playing elsewhere in Europe are levels above Warner Brown and Richard King? I know Richard King obviously is now playing in Scotland, but you know, when he was called up at the time, representing Jamaica, playing in the JPL, how many players that are playing in Europe were better levels above them? So again, if you're good enough to play, I think you should play. Like, can we not look to the JPL for an 8 and a 6? They are passport ready. They're passport ready, and the JPL players, like I said, when you look at Warner Brown and Richard King, it does say that if you're good enough to play, you should play. They can do it. They can get the job done. And, you know, as it relates to those JPL players, I do feel for them, because despite being pros, they do struggle to afford basic necessities. So qualifying for a World Cup isn't just about achieving a childhood dream. It's not just about a childhood dream coming true, coming to fruition, but it's life-changing. And their stories, mind you, their struggle stories, whether it's from the countryside or from the city, the ghetto, the slums, their stories is way more relatable to us, the average Jamaicans born in Jamaica or living overseas. It's so relatable to the average Jamaican. And yes, granted, some players there who are born in the diaspora, yes, they do grow up in council estates, they do grow up in impoverished conditions, and therefore their stories is also relatable to us. But what I cannot relate to or respect is a player of any given quality not respecting the black, gold, and green. And that is what we have allowed to happen, where the new media is concerned. We have allowed players to just treat us like fluff, like you're nothing. They just huff and puff and blow you away and just get out your face and bring you back when they want you. And you guys okay that. You guys okay that. And again, I'm going to say that for me, the window of opportunity is firmly shut. Big up the players who are here now. And I know what the online community is going to do. I know what the YouTubers are going to do. They're going to move the goalpost again. They're going to say, bring them in for the October window. If they're not here for the October window, they're going to say, bring them for November. If they're not here for November, they're going to say, bring them when we qualify, because as I said, they can take us out the group. That's a load of rubbish. You don't need to stop your crap. Like, stop your crap, because we solidified the last World Cup cycle that we played a role in failure. It's not just Rudolph Speed. It's not just the Jamaica Football Federation. It's not just the coaches. We played a role in our team failing to qualify for the last World Cup. And it's looked like we're well on course to doing the same again. Why? Because we have allowed the Jamaica Football Federation and the coach and whoever does the player selection to think that this nonsense, this poor, pathetic standard is okay. It's not. So nip that in the bud and act accordingly. As you guys are helping to make football depressing. Like, act like you know about the black, gold, and green. Yes, I know we're not a football nation. We're never going to be a football nation if we continue on this trajectory. We are never going to be a footballing nation if we continue on this trajectory. And that's pretty much all I have to say. Before I love you and leave you, let me go ahead and see what you guys are saying in the comments section. I haven't really looked at any deals, to be honest with you. Owen, big up yourself. Chorus again. Owen, big up yourself. Markland, big up yourself. I hope you're well. Mindset Media, this whole Reggae Boyz thing is a disappointment. New media as a big part of the blame to bear. Yes, they do, but they're avoiding the elephant in the room. Like, we can't see. Like, we can see. Like, we have a big part to play in all of this, because like I said, the Jamaica Football Federation, they listen to us. This is the last time I trusted the words of a villain. My fault. I put my morals to the side. Okay, you're gonna have to tidy that one up a bit. Maybe I missed the previous comment. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Well, my sister, I've said repeatedly, there's too many competing interests in the JFF. Speed said it all when he said it, Robert. Well, I don't. The thing is, before I can even look at Mr. Speed, I really sometimes we just have to look at ourselves. Before we look at others, we really do have to look at ourselves, right? And the never-ending continuous recruitment with exactly, it's just this excessive recruit. How do you expect to generate synergy? How are you going to create synergy when you're always recruiting? How are you going to generate synergy when you are always recruiting? Like, it's not making sense. Like, you gotta put an end to the madness. It's not making sense. The media keep running down players, this everlasting begging, making videos, begging players to represent is destructive. And sometimes people are doing it for the wrong reasons. Like, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. It's not even about wanting Jamaica to qualify for a World Cup. It's beyond that. So that's what I'm saying, that before looking at Mr. Speed, sometimes we've got to look at ourselves as well, you know. We have to look at ourselves as well. Let's see. Lee Young, big up yourself. I don't know if I gave you your big up. Kevin Williams, big up yourself. Ian Hibbert, big up yourself. I hope you're well. People like Bailey come out saying all kinds of disrespectful things, and we run behind him with no standard self. And this is just an example. Halftime TV, I hope you are well. Guys, please do subscribe to Halftime TV, especially with the World Athletics Championship taking place this September. Kicking off on the 13th, so do keep your eyes on his channel. I'm sure he's going to be creating some athletics content. So his name is on the screen there. So Halftime TV, please do subscribe to his channel, like and share. Them want best team to represent Jamaica. I don't know what's their definition of best team. What's your definition of best team? Princeton the second, big up yourself. I can no longer move the goalpost for can't strain my back for disrespect. I don't even think it's a disrespect, because at the end of the day, if a player isn't committed to you, they're not committed to you, and they don't really owe you anything. And I think sometimes we have to think about the players' wants and the players' needs, and it is their life at the end of the day. Would you put all your eggs in one basket type of situation, especially if you're still young? We don't know what's going on behind the closed doors as it relates to certain players and different countries. We don't know what these other countries are saying to them. We don't know if they're still saying, hey, look, you still have a chance. Like that might be the case. They might be getting told that they still have a chance. So, and again, if we wouldn't put all our eggs in one basket when it comes to us doing our job, I don't think it's fair for us to want others to do the same, irrespective of what we might think of the individual and so on. I don't think they owe us anything. And my gripe isn't with them. My gripe is with us. Like, we need to have some shame. We need to have some shame. These new defenders seem to be good. Question is, will they play them? Our question is, will they play them? I guess we have to wait and see. Clive Smith, big up yourself. David J, big up yourself. I hope you're well. DC, big ups to you. Oh my, yes, it is a live stream. Yes, it is a live stream. Good evening. It's the Indian Day Parade going on, but I am here. Okay, I didn't even know that was going on. So big ups to all of you guys there that support. What's the difference of insanity? Repeating the same. Yeah, exactly. And you're expecting to get a different result. And again, my worry is that what we're doing is going to spill over into another World Cup cycle. And these players there with their questionable commitments, they're going to come and they're going to have a field day with us. They will. So if that's what you guys are okay with, then knock yourselves out. I don't agree with it. And I think it's madness. I can only assume who you're referring to, but again, no one owes us anything. Like, no one owes us anything. And when that's not just one issue. There's multiple issues here where it just clearly shows that we don't have a standard. We don't have a standard. We are literally the reason why the Jamaica Football Federation are calling up unemployed players, because again, we okayed that in the last window. And again, as it relates to your comment on screen, I think we just have to understand that no one owes us anything. And would you put all your eggs in one basket? Would you tell your child to put all their eggs in one basket if you were in this position? Perhaps not. Sometimes I think we have to look at things from other people's perspectives so that we can formulate the right opinion. They don't really owe us anything, and that's not even my issue. That's not even. I'm just like, it is what it is. That's not my issue. My issue is the standard that's been set. That's my issue. That is literally my gripe. Is just the standard that we have set. And I think it hasn't been nipped in the bud. And as I said, I think it will spill over into another World Cup cycle. Big up yourselves. Big up yourself. I hope you're well. So I managed to get that one done in under an hour. Managed to get that one off my chest. I think it needed to be said, guys. It's very annoying. Like, just some more respect on the black, gold, and green. Like, I'm tired of the nonsense, and I don't think it's right for a player to be committed and to be pushed out of the team. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care who you are. There's no way that you can sit back and let someone do the heavy lifting and think you can just come into the team and take their spot. That's not right. That's not right. But again, new media are okay in it. So when they take the piss out of you come 2020, 30, when they don't make themselves available because they are injured, when they only show up for every other cycle, don't sit there and complain. Don't talk about you can't build a team around them because they're never ever present, because you've set a filthy standard. So live with it. That's my issue. I hope I've been quite clear on that. That is literally my issue. The standard is piss poor. It's just on the floor. Unfortunately, if you guys have any questions, throw them at me. Probably give you guys just a few more minutes before I close off, because I've pretty much said all that needed to be said from myself. I agree, but anybody that don't struggle with us should not reap they will reap the benefits, because like I said, new media have okayed it. New media have signed off on it. So they're going to reap the benefits. They will, and that's just so wrong. That's, you gotta understand, the players that are here, they're human beings, and if they're planting the seeds, then they should be reaping the harvest. No one should be coming and taking their position, because look, they're here, they could be with their families, could be with their wives, could be with their kids, but they're here representing their country, and if we qualify, they should be the ones going off to the World Cup, not the ones with the questionable commitments. So yeah, throw some questions at me. I've got just a couple more minutes. I'm trying to keep this one under an hour. I don't really need to make it 1 hour. I'm gonna keep it under an hour. Just because I think it's more digestible for those of you there who perhaps want to watch it on replay. I don't really want to make it a long-winded watch for you guys. So if you haven't hit the like button, what are you waiting on? Go ahead and hit the like button. It doesn't cost you a penny. Maybe you got some 3 more minutes with you guys. But you guys are silent, so I might just end the live stream. You guys are quiet on me, so I might just go ahead and end the live stream. And then, of course, as we head closer to match day 1 against Bermuda, we'll look at a different topic of conversation. So again, we're playing against Bermuda on Friday the 5th of September, so this Friday, and then 4 days later we're playing Trinidad and Tobago at the office, so do get your tickets for that one. All right, it's not a little it's not okay, it's not about beating and criticism. We give the loyal and committed players they deserve better. Yeah, I think you're right. We always talk about loyalty. We always talk, but when the players are loyal, we turn around and we throw piss in their face. So aren't you being a hypocrite? You talk about you want loyal players, like you're contradicting yourself. You talk about wanting loyal players, you have loyal players in camp now, and you're gonna then turn around and throw piss in their face for players you want loyal. Let it make sense, please. Let it make sense. All right. So yeah, that's my gripe over with. And I'm going to have to love you and leave you. David J says, so do you think that Speed gets all the power as coach, advisor, assistant? I think this one remains to be seen. I'm not sure yet. I think it remains to be seen. I guess maybe we could watch him on the sidelines, see if he's giving out any instructions. Hopefully he's walking with his iPad. Yeah, I guess we have to wait and see. Clive Smith said we took Marcus Gale and he never helped us to qualify. I mean, you're talking about something that happened nearly 30 years ago, and Marcus, having had quite a few conversations with him, one thing that he always talks about with a lot of pride is Jamaica. He loves Jamaica through and through. I can't say that about every single player because I don't know other players, but in terms of that comment there on screen, he loves Jamaica. He speaks very positively about the black, gold, and green. And again, I don't really think we can, in terms of the topic of tonight's conversation, is new media to blame. Like, I hear what you're saying about Marcus, but that was that was almost 3 decades ago. So I get what you're saying. I respect you and your opinion, but I don't really think we can compare that to what we are talking about now. Maybe you can, but I don't think I can. Matchday Warzone, big up yourself. I've never seen you on my channel before. I hope you're well. Do you think management should have made their desire to court certain players so public? I don't think it makes a difference because the way that the things work nowadays with new media, we're living in a social media day and age. Even if they don't make it public, I think they would succumb to pressure and they would make it public, because people be saying, why aren't you looking at this player? Why aren't you looking at that player? So and it only takes a few seconds to go on Google and figure out who's eligible to represent us. Right. So, and I think if the Jamaica Football Federation is playing with their cards close to their chest and they're not talking about certain players, they're only going to piss off their fan base. But I get where you're coming from there. You're right. I remember how they treated the girls and how they tried to replace them. Yeah. Markland says the coach is the way the coach is the way he is because JFF has no standards, so I can't. Again, and we set the no standard. We don't have no standards. We have zero standards. Standards is piss poor. It's on the floor. We don't have no standard. I normally hear, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. Sorry, my apologies. And still have to rely on the committed warriors. Like, I've said my piece. If these guys want to continue to push their agenda, that's down to them. But I just kind of feel like there's certain ways that we should go about things. We need to be talking about synergy. We need to be talking about being the ultimate 12th man. We need to be talking about getting over the line. Like, there's no point sulking about people who are not here. But as I said, brace yourself for new media moving the goalposts once again, because they will. They always do. Once you're their favorite, they're going to move the goalposts, and then they criticize the likes of Mr. Speed for doing the same. Doesn't make sense to me, but whatever. But if he sit and wait until we qualify is the same thing. Marcus, if memory serves me well, didn't he pick up an injury? Didn't Marcus pick up an injury? You should probably know more than me, because I think, no disrespect, but I feel like you're older than myself, so you would have a better memory of that period. But didn't he pick up an injury? Not that I'm making excuses, but I'm just trying to find context for what you're saying. So before I log off, before I end the stream, yeah, let me know if the call up was round about the time where he picked up an injury. I remember vaguely that an injury did pick up an injury, right? Let's see. I think it might have been the injury then led him to play for Jamaica, if memory serves me well. But remind me of that one if you can. Because you, like I said, you will have a better memory than myself. Or maybe you don't want to answer it. I don't know. No pressure. Maybe you can answer that one back on replay. But in defense to Marcus Gale, if you're saying that he only came and played for Jamaica after we qualified, almost 30 years later, he's still talking about Jamaica, and he's still talking about Jamaica with pride. So obviously I was a baby back then in 98, so I can't really deep dive too much, unless for me to deep dive, I need to go and pick up this book in front of me and do some reading of the 98 squad, just to jog my memory. But again, in defense of my Marcus Gale, he still speak about Jamaica with a lot of fond memories, and he speaks highly of Jamaica. So I'm not trying to put words into your mouth, but if you're saying that he came and played for Jamaica after we qualified, therefore used in Jamaica, I'm not sure if that's what you're trying to say. But again, almost 30 years on, he still speak very positively of the black, gold, and green. If we were doing that more with the girls, it wouldn't feel like we were building. Right, there is a transition problem. Definitely a transition problem. This team is a bit weak. Look, at this moment in time, we just have to back the boys, hope that they qualify. Pray to God that they qualify. Yeah, we just have to back them. hence we are recruiting every cycle. I think you're talking about the are you talking about both the are you talking both about the women's team or the men's team, or is it a combination of the two? And we also have to talk about the difference with it, because you spoke about the Reggae Girls quite a few times, right? You spoke about the Reggae Girls quite a few times. The difference with the Reggae Girls and the Reggae Boys is, yes, they do rely on the diaspora community, and nothing is wrong with doing so. But the clear difference with that is they're not going for big names. Like when you look at how from the start to the present, they haven't been going intentionally out there to attract big names. Like they turn players into big names, they create stars. The evidence is there, they create stars. Look at Sydney Schneider had, despite how we performed in the 2019 FIFA Women's World Cup in France, Sydney Schneider was one of the most talked about players. She had so many people talking about her, like legends of the game talking about her. Our very own Usain Bolt was sending her flowers, and some people were saying, how did USA let Jamaica have her? Like, we were doing this at the right time. We went out of our way to secure the talent from their young. We created stars. That's one of our issue. We're not looking to create stars. We're not looking for those rough diamonds. We're looking for the big name players with the possibility of playing for more economically developed countries, and we're trying to size up. And like I said, right now, we're not top 3 in CONCACAF. We're not even top 5 in CONCACAF, but we're trying to size up against other countries. Like, it's such a deluded approach. If it works, it works. But again, it's insanity. Can't compare it to the Reggae Girls, because the Reggae Girls did things differently. Reggae Girls didn't target big names. They turned those players into big name players, respectfully. So, that is my opinion. I am going to love you and leave you. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. It's a Monday evening. If you guys are making your way home from work, I do hope that you make it home safely and unharmed. If you're making your way to those dreaded graveyard shifts, I do hope that you make it there safely and unharmed. And also in reverse, I hope that you make it through your doors safely and unharmed, because doing so is an underrated blessing. If you've not hit the like button, what are you waiting on? Please do go ahead and hit the like button. It does not cost you a penny. Massive thank you to those of you who have already done so. I'm going to purposely keep this one under an hour, because the aim was to maybe only speak with you guys for 30 minutes, and I've gone over by some 25 minutes. All right, so big ups to you guys there in the comment section. Thank you so much for blessing me with a moment of your time. Your time is greatly appreciated. Thank you for allowing me to, or helping me to, continue to grow the channel. Long may it continue. I'll be seeing you guys again during the week, as we edge closer and closer to match day 1 against Bermuda. We're within touching distance of qualifying for our first ever FIFA Men's World Cup for the first time since 1998. Can we do it? Hopefully we will. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to have to love you and leave you. And you know how it goes. Until next time, take care.
I'm John Barnes, and you're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.